My name is Sijibomi Ogundele. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Sujimoto Construction, and we are here in Lagos. I'm a Nigerian by birth, African by blood, and entrepreneur at heart. I was born into a corporately dynamic family. My father did a 9-to-5 as a manager, and my mother was an entrepreneur. I consider myself a multi-tribal Nigerian. I grew up in the streets of Agege. I went to school in the ancient city of Kaduna. My mother being a trader, I was nurtured within the walls of Okiari Market, filled with enterprising Igbo traders. What influenced my entrepreneurial character came from there. I am multilingual. I speak Hausa, Yoruba, French, Spanish. I even speak a little bit of Arabic and Japanese. I'm a Pan-African, a global citizen. There are only a few countries in the world I've never been to. I'm a philanthropist. My life purpose is to leave a positive impact on my generation. This is not about success or failure. This is about the desire to be my own master and the knowledge that no one controls my destiny but me. I just wanted to be given an opportunity to win over prospects, not because they like me or anything else, but because I was able to create a great product with a strong, durable competitive advantage. I have come so far in life. Under normal circumstances, I am not meant to be here. I come from the lower middle class area of Agege. I attended public schools. I had no powerful aunties or rich uncles. All I had in my life was hard work and dedication. I have no plan B, no inheritance. So for me, success, it is non-negotiable. Many people say you don't put your eggs in one basket, but I practice what I call buffetology. I do business like I play the game of poker. I go all in. I put all my eggs in one basket, maximum 2 baskets. But ultimately, quality is the pillar of what we do. And our model is entangled with the definition of diligence. We always think about how we could do things faster, cheaper, and how we could do things better. At Sujimoto, we think customers first, employees second, and then my shareholders third. I tell my people very clearly, I tell them customer is king, because think about it, without customers, we will be out of business. Wealthy people invest in strong, reliable assets, while others invest in liabilities they think are assets. That's why the rich get richer by investing in money-generating assets, while others get poorer by acquiring liabilities. Some people think acquiring a car is an asset. So when they make 20 million naira, they buy a car for 10M, they pay their rent for 5 million, and they invest just 5 million. For me, that is the beginning of failure. It is funny, but our society is filled with ladies evaluating men over the types of cars they drive. It's like a lady choosing a guy just because he drives a G-Wagon over a trader who doesn't drive a G-Wagon but is a strong business tycoon in Alaba. My point is, in order for us to create wealth, we must have a definite separation that distinguishes assets from liability. When I was 7 years old, my mom started building her first house in Idimo. I remember following her to site every Saturday, and I believe maybe that was where my first introduction to real estate started from. There is this story about this lady who was married to this rich man who she called her assets. Despite good advice, she refused to build an asset-based portfolio that would generate consistent cash flow. Unfortunately for her, the man met a younger lady, and the sad part is that for more than 20 years, this lady had all her money invested into fixed deposits and stocks. I remember my mom advising her to start a business or invest in real estate. This lady refused. Suddenly, the stocks of some banks collapsed and she lost a lot of money. But luckily for her, she had some money left, which she immediately invested in Dolphin Estate, and she bought some land in Banana Island. Today, this lady is one of the silent mega landlords in Ikoyi. By the time she lost the man fully, she was already financially stable. This, for me, is what I call freedom. Currency of the new age is reputation. Money can be lost and easily regained, but reputation you cannot. Warren Buffett once said that there are two types of currency in today's world: the currency of money and the currency of integrity. Being a man of your word, keeping your promises, making sure that whatever you say is what it is. These principles are what build greatness. It was very clear to me that our investors, and most importantly, our off-takers, would never lose their money, even when it was clear that we were losing ours. I can tell you categorically that when we paused the Lorenzo project, we had to refund about 300 million naira. We didn't mind doing that because those people trusted us their money, and we had to keep integrity. We understood that the dividends of reputation will one day bring us success. Today, half of those investors are back in business with us. People may say anything about you, but no one should ever say that you are not a man of your word, or that you promised A and later you delivered B. This, for me, is a slow beginning failure. The best approach to this question is to look at the United Arab Emirates, which was once a land of sands and camels, but through vision and great leadership, it was transformed into a magnificent land of marbles and towers. In Dubai, the leaders created an enabling environment because they believe that good systems guarantee great success. Like Dubai, Singapore was lucky to find great leadership in Lee Kuan Yew, who instilled in them the practices of meritocracy, where they know that their assets is not in their mineral resources, but in the very people of Singapore. They understood that to unlock human potential or to make people perform at their peak, the first thing to do was to create great leadership at all levels. Nigeria, on the other hand, is a land richer than Singapore or even Dubai, but unfortunately, it lags behind in its true potential. Someone once said that an army of sheep led by a lion can defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. My brother, it is a question of leadership. I know that 2019 would define the destiny of Nigeria. My moving back to Nigeria was not only due to an emotional attachment that, oh, I'm Nigerian and I'm moving back home, but also a pure business strategy. I returned to Nigeria when the country was clearly going through a convergence of opportunity and the existence of mediocrity. But luckily, Nigerians had for their money. Nigeria is the only country where a Lebanese will come as an engineer, but later on, you find him as a contractor, or even an Indian. You see them arrive into Nigeria as a storekeeper, but later they become industrialists. So I knew that Nigeria had a strong place for me, and all I needed to do was to tap into our opportunities and enhance our potential. Raising funds in Nigeria is probably one of the most difficult things to do. I'll give you an example. In going through our new project in Banana Island, I had bought the land, I had done all the approvals, all the documentations. I had assets worth over 5 billion, but I needed cash to start construction. I needed about maybe 500 to a billion naira. It was a difficult situation. People were skeptical, the economy was really bad, but I finally met someone who understood real estate financing and was ready to invest into this project. I showed him our numbers. He saw a clear 100% return on investment. He is an Igbo man from Owerri, so he doesn't joke with his money. He said to me, Suji, about 5 people talk, say, make I not give you money. Oh. He said, what we go do now? Chai, but I don't check that number now. Everything they okay. Suji, today I don't feel like signing this check. I beg, come back tomorrow. We went on and on and on. He was very difficult, extremely skeptical, but he finally gave us the money. We set measurable and achievable milestones. They were very tough conditions, but it became a success. For 2 months, he was coming to site, driving around almost every day. But eventually, he was so proud of what we were able to achieve in such a short period of time. We had gone 1 month ahead of schedule, and about 25% cheaper than what we had budgeted. He became so proud of the project that he went from being someone who was cautiously, extremely skeptical to today someone who now is willing to invest billions into our other project. 2015, we sold our dream of the tallest residential building in Nigeria and the first fully automated building in Africa. Investors were thrilled. The competition marveled at the audacity of the project. As the list of our investors and new friends grew, so did our critics. Between January and December 2016, I had personally spoken to over 2,000 investors and off-takers. 95% of them said no, but that didn't discourage us or make us lose focus on the Lorenzo dream. Even around April 2016, two of our major investors looked at the economic situation of the country and, most importantly, some governmental policies, and they backed out. One said, "Suji, if your project were in Togo, we would invest in it." The other one even told me, "Suji, risk we can manage, but uncertainty we can't." Obviously, I was depressed, I was devastated. It was the most difficult time of my life. But today, the foreign investors who backed off the project are 100% back. And we are hoping to announce the comeback of this project very, very soon. The Giuliano by Sujimoto is more than just a project. It is a game changer that will redefine the way people live. It is inspired by the legacy of the great Medici family with the functionality of the 21st century lifestyle. It is a place that will live up to the Sujimoto philosophy, where we bring exclusivity, location, and quality, all of these into one space. In designing the Giuliano, we understood that to be needed, we needed to be loaded. We went around Ikoyi and Banana Island. We toured all the best terraces and apartments. We were looking for standards to set and records to beat. We also needed the best location. We knew that Banana Island was the only location that would bring the true value of the Giuliano, where every square meter from foundation to finishing was going to be an experience of total opulence. With what we finally designed, the Giuliano would be the best terrace not only in Nigeria but in the whole of Africa. Aside from the private elevator for each house, oh yes, every house has its own private elevator. The Miele kitchens, the Duravids or Zaha Hadid sanitary wares, the 2.8 meter doors from Italy. It is very important to note that not one drop of paint will be on the Giuliano. The whole exterior will be clad in this special Spanish stone. Only the most expensive houses in the world use this type of finishing. People say we are too loud, that we talk a lot, and our talks are mere words, that every time we are talking about 1 + 1 = 11, it doesn't make any mathematical sense. But of course, it's not mathematics, it is Motomatics. And I agree with them because words matter. I believe that the revelation of your passion and the potential that you have does matter. We have confidence in the quality of our work, and that is why we can proudly say that we are the Rolls Royce of the Nigerian real estate industry. Words matter. Making noise does matter. If Martin Luther King didn't speak up about having a dream, would Barack Obama or any black person ever think of becoming the president of the United States? In 1990, when Jim Ovia said he was going to create the most dynamic bank in West Africa, today, can we say he was bluffing? Wait, what about Coca-Cola? If they hadn't sustained an aggressive marketing system, would they have moved from 18 bottles a day to 2 billion bottles a day? If you are creating a solution to a societal need and you believe that your product is superior, you need to talk about it. In fact, you need to scream about it until the pessimist starts celebrating you. Then that's when you should stop. Success is like a game of chess to me. And I've learned a long time ago that to win this game, you have to understand the rules and regulations. And essentially, you must understand your competitors. You have to know your entry and exit strategies. You must know how to relate with the referees and the spectators. In the game of success, you have to be fierce. You have to be determined, and passion must be part of your game. You must be willing to take a lot of no's. In order to achieve your goals, you need to be willing to lose friends. You need to be willing to lose girlfriends and even family members. You must be willing to be misunderstood, because so many people would argue with your dream as if it's their own. You must be willing to understand that being unreasonable is part of success, and you must immerse your life into whatever project you are working on. Entrepreneurship is the toughest game ever introduced to mankind. Many people think I just came from nowhere, but they do not know what Sujimoto is actually made of. From the ages of 8 and 12, I grew from a 1 Okada owner to a 6 Okada owner, to helping my mother do alabaro in the market. Would you believe that I even hawked souvenir in the streets of France? Brother, no be today. It has been almost 20 years of hard work, determination, and almost annoying character of never giving up. I'm not an upcoming artist. If I was in music, I would be Jay-Z by now. One quality that highly successful people have in common is generosity. When you look from MKO Abiola to Bill Gates, Tony Elumelu to Warren Buffett, you will see clearly that these people have impacted multiple generations. Someone once asked me and said, Suji, what drives you? What brings joy into your heart? Aside from, of course, doing deals and building luxury houses. I searched and I thought about it, and I realized that what actually brings me joy and satisfaction the most is the knowledge that I had a strong impact in the lives of people around me. That I was able to eradicate poverty, first from my immediate family, then from friends and colleagues. Nothing in this world brings me more joy than that. When I decided to assist Jumoke, you might know her, the bread seller turned model, some people questioned my intentions, but what they didn't understand was that I saw my mother in Olajumoke. The story of a lady who left Ijebu for Lagos in search of opportunity. I am sure many of our parents came to Lagos from different parts of Nigeria. And that's why I always tell people that your Olajumoke story is like the Lagos version of the American dream. I love my competitors and even my critics. They are part of the reason I am where I am today. They motivate me to do more. When I think about them, it wakes me up every morning and pushes me every day. I don't panic when I hear about their successes. A few of them are bigger than us. Look at Cadre Properties, for example. I stayed in their property for 6 months when I moved into Nigeria. I wanted to understudy them. I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to understand how they think, not to be like them, but of course to be better than them. I never ever panic. When I'm faced with a formidable opponent, what I do is to observe their weaknesses and their strengths. And then I train harder, discipline myself to be faster, better, and stronger. I do not panic at all. When you negotiate for greatness, you are paying the full price for mediocrity. A lot of people conclude on their future based on their present situation. The fact that you are going through some difficulties or some rough paths doesn't mean you should sell yourself cheap or even settle for less. There is no nobility in poverty. We have to know that our destiny is in our own hands, not in the hands of the government. The deadliest virus in this generation is what I call the entitlement attitude. The belief that someone somewhere owes you something. No one owes you anything but yourself. We must fight for what we want in life. I always say that success is not served a la carte. It's a buffet. You must go for it. It is important we surround ourselves with assets, not liabilities. People with positive minds. People who know where they are going in life. We must eradicate our religious and cultural differences. If Musa from Maiduguri has a dream, I should be there for him. It wouldn't matter if he was Hausa or even if he was Muslim. I do not care if Ngozi is from Inewi, as long as she has a great character and the fear of God. I would marry her. Religious and cultural differences are the fastest way to ruin a nation. I observed that most entrepreneurs fail out of corporate negligence and pure ignorance. So this fear drove me to study law. I wanted to know my legal exposures and boundaries. I didn't want anyone to cheat me or play games with me. So I recently concluded a degree at the Aglan Ruskin University. I have an LLB, Legum Baccalaureate. Let me say this for the record. If there is anyone who has greatly inspired me in politics, someone whom I believe has had an impact on our democracy, the alliance master and human development strategist, this will be Jagaban himself, of course, Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But talking about my political ambition, for now, I am 100% focused on real estate. I do not know what tomorrow holds, but if at all I run for public office, I will run for president and I'm going to win.